Welcome everybody to the regular Board of Commissioners meeting Tuesday, May 7th. Thanks for everybody for coming. Got a nice crowd. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Can we do the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a motion to approve or add anything to the regular agenda?
Mr. Mayor, if it pleases the board, I'd like to add in section 15 a closed session regarding economic development.
All right, I have a motion. Commissioner May, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hall. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay.
Was that approval also?
Yes.
Oh, we need to excuse Justin.
Oh, yeah, we need to motion to excuse.
Also like to make a motion to excuse Commissioner Lovin from tonight's meeting.
Have a committee motion by Commissioner May, second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All right, Southport Rotary to present Sergeant Wendy Hager, Executive Officer here. You got that, Chief?
It's always a privilege to stand before you guys and when we recognize our officers for their achievements. Southport Rotary Club, for the last, I believe, 20 years, has recognized officers from different agencies for their accomplishments. So they're here this evening to present Sergeant Wendy Hager with her Officer of the Year for 2024.
Yay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Wendy, how are you? Good. I had practice at this because we presented this at one of our meetings, so I won't mess it up too much.
Wendy, we want to, as part of the Southport Rotary Club, we would like to honor you as Police Officer of the Year for the City of Boiling Spring Lakes. It's a great honor that we present this trophy to you. Thank you very much, Wendy.
And we also present the department with an ongoing plaque listing all their officers that they've received the award. There's only 2 on this one, but they have another one hanging in their office. And that's their first officer was Officer Prince. And as you may know, he's pretty well known here. I happen to have been very fortunate to present that to his chief when it was given to him, and I'm happy to present this. Thank you.
Give a smile, will be pretty sure. Thanks a lot.
Okay, public comments, Fred?
Be brief and simple, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. There's a rumor going around about another liquor store for Boiling Spring Lakes. I think what's more important is a grocery store. Everybody that you speak to wants a grocery store, so I think that's what ought to be looked at more seriously than a liquor store. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Parker Knight?
want to say that I was here about 6 months ago when we found out about the approval of paving our road on Albemarle. And the city manager, you followed up and sent Aaron out and communicated with us on a couple occasions to let us know what was going on so that we could be prepared that if we wanted to get the skirt up to our driveways paved, we would be there and we could communicate to Coastline Paving. And in fact, as things got closer and closer, we were able to communicate with Rob, with Steven, who I guess is the owner, and even a gentleman came out to our neighborhood to talk to us. Through the whole process, we were continued to be told, we're going to give you a flyer, we're going to give you a quote, we're going to do this for you. And over, it never amounted to anything. And I have followed up with Rob a number of times. We've got multiple communications. And I know it may not be the city's problem, but it feels like we were severely misled through the process, especially after talking to one of the neighbors over on Salisbury, where she had a similar experience and had no problem getting her skirt paved lickety-split. But we were told we would get flyers, we'll follow up, and then it's like, oh, well, now we're going to go ahead and finish up before the end of our contract. We got to get that done, but we're going to get you a quote, and nothing has happened to that. The only thing that's personally aggravating for me is that on my particular driveway, when they're grading, they scraped half of my driveway and wouldn't restore it. I've informed Rob about it, and he's responded, but nothing has come of it. But I do want to tell you, I appreciate that you guys followed up. I think the city was real responsive in trying to help us. But I just felt like y'all ought to know that that's how we were treated on our neighborhood.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I ask you real quick, are you still interested in having that done?
I think there's many of us are.
Okay, I'll follow up on that.
But we just want to be able to get a number, and I know that they got a contract, they got to get going, and retail wasn't important, but from the very onset, we were told, oh yeah, when we're out there, we're going to give you a flyer, we'll let you know. Yeah,
That customer service needs to happen.
that's all. But
Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon and Darren?
Hi.
Hello.
I just have a couple things to ask questions on. They might be better served in the citizens forum, but since that is not for another month, I wanted to be present today. I too have concerns about the ABC store. I did read on the minutes that it was the ABC store appealing themselves for a second location, but the staff supports that recommendation to have a second ABC store. I'd like to understand what warrants your staff decision to support a second store here in BSL. I also see that there has been 3 bids for the vegetation removal here in BSL, and you have selected Coastal Transmission for lake bed vegetation removal. I'd like to understand what that plan is and how did that decision tree happen? What was the influencing factor for making that decision? I also want to acknowledge that that is part of your budget, so it's not an extra spend. But I'm vested in this community. I don't live on the lake, but I certainly would love to see lakes. I haven't been in this community at a time where there was water in the lakes. So those are some questions I'd like to see. I also noticed that there was a special meeting for the sewer steering committee. And I have a couple questions on that. One, Commissioner Mamay, you reply that the priority should be around the big lake. One of the main goals is to protect that and also the golf course property. Why? That is larger money, perhaps, venues on those properties, but why not the other areas? I see that Commissioner Sherwood acknowledges that there are developments that could be gained by going away from the lakes and the golf courses to other properties. So as you're pursuing a sewer, I'd like to understand again the trajectory of your plan there. What are your priorities? What is your position? What is your timeline? I realize that shovels won't meet the dirt for some amount of time. But why are we saying, perhaps there's a reason I don't understand, for why we would start with the lakes and the golf course? I would sure like to understand that. I hear on all of the citizens forums, there's many in this community that would like more commerce here. Frankly, I'm not one of them. I really would like to have more homes and have a community that is beautiful and lovely to live in. Commerce doesn't appeal to me. I'm from Detroit. I'm happy to be away from the city. But I am very interested by your commentary to say that we do not have enough rooftops in this community to support something like that. And yet you're avoiding the development area that could yield the exact rooftops that you complain we don't have enough of. So those are some things I'd like to understand from you. On a closing note, I see that the County Board of Commissioners posts a recap of their meeting minutes on social media. I can see those very readily without having to research those. Is there a way that we can be more forthcoming with what's happening in your meetings? Our meetings, I should say. Admittedly, and I will say this outrightly, I have not invested my time. I am not here to criticize. I am not here to condemn or complain. I don't give you my time in a week to be part of what you're doing. But as a concerned citizen and one who really wants to love this area, I would really like to understand some of those things and readily available information and email blast. I know I ask a lot in the timetables where we are at on trajectories with our contractors. You and I are usually in dialogue about that, with incentivizing or penalizing, whether they're ahead of or behind. I think the communication, I think you have a community here of very concerned, interested, and invested citizens. I see it on social media. I know only few of them. But I would really like to have a better understanding. And if that means I have to show up on more meetings, I will commit to give you that time. But those are some of the things that I can see as I read recent meeting minutes of things that I think can be better displayed to the public.
Gordon, will you give an update of what we discussed in prior meetings and this one too? So everybody, as far as why we chose.
Yeah, do you want me to do it now or do
No,
you?
you're doing your.
Yeah, I made a list of all our questions. I'll be
Okay.
more than happy to address all of them.
All right, thank you. All right, I need a motion to open up the legislative public hearing ordinance to amend Article 7, Section 7.5.3, 7.9.2, 7.13.1, and 7.28 of the city's Unified Development Ordinance.
So moved.
Have a motion by Commissioner Nunley, second by Commissioner Sherwood. All in favor, say aye. 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 I have nobody who has signed up for it to speak. Before we close it, would you like to speak, Nicole, about it?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. Tonight's legislative hearing is in response to, and I'm going to try to speak up loud enough if I'm not letting you know. It's in response to proposed amendments to Article 7, the development regulations in the city's UDO. The planning board did meet and recommended unanimously approval of the following recommendations. I'm not going to read them word for word, but I will go through and explain each one individually. First is Article 7.5.3. This would add an option for alternative compliance to meeting some building design standards. Currently, there is a minimum 25% transparency requirement for all buildings. This would allow, with UDO administrator approval, some alternate ways of meeting those requirements when the building is used solely for storage, or when it's a double frontage lot and it's not, the rear of the property is not facing a thoroughfare. It does outline also that in doing so, that they would use false windows and closed windows. There would be additional requirements to make the building still look visually attractive. And in only those two instances could they reduce that 25% transparency. Article 7.9.2 is provisions for cross-access. We do currently require cross-access for commercial development. This provision is just specifying in the UDO that the cross-access easement does need to be recorded. Article 7.13.1 is just design and layout of stacking spaces. Again, we do require stacking spaces for certain types of, drive-throughs, gas stations, things like that. So the UDO does require the stacking spaces, but it doesn't specify the size of the stacking spaces. This includes the size requirements, which is your same typical minimum parking requirement for a vehicle. Finally, section 7.28 is amendments to the landscaping requirements. There's a lot of pages to this, but after consultation with Julie Moore with the Plant Conservation Program, she did take a look through our approved species list, and she recommended that numerous shrubs and trees be taken off of the list, which is what was done. But in doing so, we wanted to make sure that we still left enough available options. So it does include the ability for, it specifies that the list is not exhaustive, and that the UDO administrator could approve alternate species with approval from the cooperative extension as well. And that is it.
Thank you. All right, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Sherwood, and a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, I need a motion to approve the amended articles.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner May, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner May, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Committee board reports, fifth, no fire.
We good? Making sure Ms. Sherwood's called up over there. Sorry, breaking the mic. I touch things that fall apart. So I don't have the original report that I have every month, and I just kind of want to reach out to you guys a little bit. And I know that this is probably not the perfect scenario and not the perfect place, but this is basically where I have the most attention and the most ears. So we're just going to throw a few things out there and run with it and see where it takes us. And I also didn't write notes, so I'm flying by the hip tonight. So apologize if I miss anything. First of all, the update on our stations. Before I forget that, we did get the CEO on it. They are still in there a couple more weeks doing punch lists, but hopefully within the next few weeks, they will be out and we can start moving in. So it's a beautiful station and we're very excited. And as soon as we get everything set, we will try to do an open house and invite everybody. And anytime you see the doors open, you're more than welcome to stop and walk in. So after that, I had a conversation with the city manager, and one of his suggestions was just to bring this to you guys and talk about it so everybody could hear what we say. And like I said, this is where I figured we get the most attention. So the first thing I'm going to bring up is our budget. Our budget is a work in progress. Once our budget is done and it is presented, it goes to the county and the county approves it, so it is still a work in progress. But the one thing that I will say is that we did ask for an increase in the fire fees, but the reason that we asked for the increase in the fire fees is so that we can have nighttime coverage at our fire department. Now that we have a station that has bedrooms and that we can man it, we are trying to do so, and that's what we're doing with that money. If we get it, it is not done, so we do not know if we will get it. If we do not get it, we will not be having the nighttime coverage at this point, but that is the goal, and that is exactly what the full raise would go in, is to payroll, to cover the nighttime shifts. Like I said, I'm open to more conversations, and I can show everybody what that means on a one-on-one basis. All I need you to do is contact me. I have nothing but time to talk to you, and I welcome it. So I just want y'all to know that. And the next thing would be the fire we had on Greensboro. Yes, it takes time to go through the detour, especially at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And yes, it takes time to get there. Fire doubles in size every 30 seconds. So the time it takes us to get there, we're already behind the 8 ball when we get there. But we were on scene within 10 minutes. And I know everybody thinks that's longer, but we were there within 10 minutes. And it takes at least 6 minutes to get to that detour. So you do the math. We're doing the best we can do with what we got, but that's also why we want our guys here on this side of town instead of over on 50 Lakes. Then they got less time to go. So that's what we're trying to do, is get moved in here and be in a better central location. So that's what we're doing. That's basically, I don't know any other conversations or questions, but like I said, I am very much available to talk, and all I need you to do is reach out to me to do that. So like I said, I apologize if this isn't the time or place, but I figure it's the best way to get the most information out. So.
Chief, can you speak on one thing that we learned in the fire meeting?
Sure.
About what the mandate's gonna come from the federal government for y'all, for all fire departments, as far as the
OSHA rules?
Yes.
Sir. Well, there's a whole lot coming down, but basically, because we do have paid people that work at the fire department, we will be mandated to follow all OSHA rules. We're not considered a volunteer agency anymore because we have paid staff. And just the biggest one that we talked about is every firefighter has to have 2 sets of gear. A set of turnout gear runs anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000, and I have 34 volunteers. So you do the math, and probably maybe a fourth of my department has 2 sets of gear right now. So that's just another hurdle we're gonna have to cross in order to be compliant. So we're doing the best we can do. And like I said, we're not hurting by any means. All we're trying to do is to give the community a better service and do the best we can do for you guys. And that'll give you 2 people every night at that station with the increase if we get it. And that's all I can tell you. Like I said,
How much did you say the turnout gear was per?
it's anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000
Per set, like,
per set. Mhm. And we're probably gonna need 15 sets of gear to bring us up to compliance. So, on top of, they just made us upgrade our radios and everything else they throw at us every other year. So this is just another one, so. But that would be the reason for the increase if we get it. Like I said, it's not a done deal, so we're doing what we can do. And it's just like you guys make decisions every day. But the one thing another thing I was gonna bring up is my position is like the city manager. I'm not finance. I don't make decisions on money. I don't have access to money. The board does that. I am operations. Anything outside that, if I want to spend any amount of money, I gotta ask permission. I just like he asked you guys when he wants to do something. So that just kind of puts y'all in line of where I'm at, so.
no, I appreciate you saying everything, because the questions that we get, you've just addressed.
And that-
The public forum, that's,
All I can ask is that if you get questions, send them to me and educate them as best as you can. And that's all we can do. I mean, if they don't come ask the questions, I can't give them the answers. But I am 100% begging them. I'm here. I'm an open book. Come talk to me. If I'm not there, everybody knows how to reach me. I'm not hard to get. And I'll make time. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
thank you, Chief.
Okay, planning board.
Hello, everyone. The planning board reviewed the staff recommendations regarding the exclusion of freestanding carports from the maximum number of accessory buildings per a citizen-initiated request. After discussion, the changes in the UDO relative to this request was approved by the board. Once again, we discussed the work which the planning board did regarding a city center. Nicole advised that any grant to help with the city center work would require matching funds from the city, which are not available. It has been nearly a year since the work which was requested of the board was done. We hope for some feedback and guidance if there's any further work which the board could do regarding the city center.
Thank you. I see there's no parks and rec. Special events.
Good evening. Our extravaganza Easter egg hunt during Founder's Day went very well. All 3,000 eggs were found, along with all the baskets. So next year we'll start fresh. We were busy putting out the bows for the South Brunswick senior class of 2024 along Cougar Drive, and the banner out front of City Hall, as you can see. The parade is Monday, May 13th at 6 p.m. We will be there cheering them on. We will not have a meeting on Wednesday, May 15th. We will be back at it in June, getting started on the Mayor's Cup, which will be Saturday, August 10th. Right now, we have a little downtime for us. So, thank you.
Amen.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, someone was talking to me, and I was gonna give the Parks and Rec,
Oh, okay.
and I apologize that I wasn't paying attention. I just wanted to let everyone know that there was no quorum for last month, so there was no Parks and Rec meeting. However, they wanted me to just say that they are still working on the 501c3 through the process of legal Zoom. So that's the update for Parks and Rec.
Library Commission.
Y'all. First and foremost, thanks to the fire department for the help that they gave us in setting up and taking down for Founder's Day. I think we'd still be out there trying to figure out the tents if they hadn't helped. The big thing, well, other than that, we've got a Meet the Author event coming up on the May 22nd. It's a Wednesday, 12:30 at the community center. The author lives, I believe she lives on Oak Island, and she is a Gold Star wife, having lost her husband. I don't know when, but the book is called Providing Promise, A Navy Widow's Journey to Hope. Like I said, May 22nd at 12:30 at the community center.
Thank you. Thank you. Next committee.
At our last committee meeting, we did some reviews and realized there are some grant opportunities that are not viable for us at this time due to the lack of matching funds. Fortunately, Mr. Hargrove was at our meeting and said that this isn't a forever situation. That's the way we stand today. So we're continuing to explore opportunities, and hopefully when matching funds become available in the future, we'll be able to get some grants. We also discussed the Defense Community Infrastructure Program, DCIP grant. That's a mouthful in itself. This is a proposal to pave roads within the city with the purpose of improving mission critical access and emergency response time for Matsu employees that live here in the city. Annette has sent a list of grant requirements to the city staff. Alex Lipinski is working on some of these items that are needed for the grant. And this is expected to, well, actually Alex expected to be done by the end of April. I don't know where that stands. The grant submission itself is due on June 17th. So when we get all our ducks in a row here, we'll apply for this. And it's a great opportunity, certainly for the city and for all our citizens. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. Linda Natoli is here. She did not sign up for public comment because she came in late, but she wanted to know if the board is okay with it. Can she make a public comment now?
Hi, neighbors.
Hey.
Hey. Hello.
I'm sorry. Now, could you give me your address, Ms. Natoli?
1281 East Boiling Spring Road. All right. Hi, guys. I'm here to address the Facebook war that's been going on concerning a lovely detour. Okay? I voted. I'm not going to ask you all who voted, who didn't vote. It's all up to you. I voted for the lakes. I did. I didn't vote for a 30-month detour. And I want to know what we're going to do to be fixing that. And then I have some other questions for my neighbors as well.
You'll address when.
Hi.
During this time.
Have you been on Facebook and seen the lovely comments? Maybe, like, I get it. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there either. I know, you all know what I'm talking about, right? As far as the Facebook fights with the dam? Yes, no?
Yes. No, it's a coward's platform. It's where they say things in hiding. It's when you come here.
All right, well, anyway. I can't talk to them? Okay. All right, well, anyway, there is an ongoing Facebook argument about the 30-month detour. I personally, as a registered nurse, a member of the community, think that 30 months is long. 6 minutes is long when there's a life at risk. I wouldn't want to be the one having a stroke. Do you know how long it takes for a brain to die during a stroke? Anybody? Seconds. Seconds. Now, we got some older folk here. They need it. They need every minute counts for response time. I would go around the little circle, go 25 miles an hour, do my little stops, do everything. But I can't understand how come we can't get EMS to at least drive over that spot.
Because it's not safe, it's not manageable, there's a big hole there.
I know who made the big hole?
Contractors.
Why don't the contract pay for the big hole?
We're not gonna have this discussion in this meeting.
Why can't we?
They're not, ma'am, they don't really respond during the meeting, during the monthly meetings. You can come to the citizens forum in June.
That's what we address comments.
So I can't even ask who's going to fix the road or why we can't fix the road?
He'll address all that, ma'am. Sorry.
I'll be back next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Manager.
Okay, so as y'all all know, I don't do Facebook. But I do keep a close eye on everything that's going on here in the community. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the 2024 paving project. And to the gentleman that spoke earlier, I can't recall your name. Please reach out to me first thing in the morning. I would like to follow up on that to make sure that the contractor is living up to what he said he would do. If I don't know about these things, I really can't fix them. I'm out on those project sites multiple times during the week. And I don't know who does and does not want their apron paved. But if you'll reach out to me and you want it done, I will do my very best to make sure that that happens. Right now, we're in the middle of a full rebuild of South Greensboro Road. It began on Friday, April 26th. This construction should last approximately 3 weeks. Right now, we do not know what the next street to be paved will be because we'll have to see what our funds availability is and what roads we can pave, the lengths, the linear feet, that those monies will cover. City sewer project update, it's still in its infancy. Mayor Weinkauf and Commissioner Mamay, along with the city staff, attended the sewer steering committee on May 1st. Staff is working right now on prioritizing service areas. Folks are wanting to know when sewer is going to come to your part of the city. I can't tell you yet. But as we start to formulate this plan, we'll get a clearer vision of where it's going, and we'll be more than happy to communicate that to you. These meetings are, except for when it's only staff, it'll be a closed meeting with just staff members working. When the elected officials are involved, that meeting will be open to the public. The things that go on in staff meetings will be the same thing that goes on in the elected official meetings, so we're not hiding anything from you at all. The budget update, we've been working diligently on the budget. We held our second budget workshop on May 1st. The proposed budget can be viewed at City Hall or on the city's website. A public hearing on the budget will be held during the June 4th Board of Commissioner meeting, after which a vote will take place to adopt the budget. If you'll look at the overhead screen, you can see how the work's progressing on the upper dam spillway inlet floor. They're tying steel on the upper dam spillway inlet weir. The next picture is showing mobilizing equipment to the North Lake Dam. Second picture is just verifying utility locations at the North Lake Dam. And then you can see in the next slide where they're working on the bypass channel for control of water for North Lake. And they're having to move utilities away from that spillway bypass. You can see the North Lake Dam bypass canal on the next set of pictures, and then we're back to tying still at Upper Lake. So that's really what I have for my report tonight. Unlike Chief Tickle, who nobody really wants to ask questions to, I get a lot of questions, and I'm going to address some of your questions tonight with the answers. I would like to forewarn you that this is not a give and take. This is not the venue for a give and take for me to have a conversation back and forth with you. What I will tell you, if you want to have a conversation with me about any of these issues, I'm available Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. You can always call me. You can stop by, and we can have one-on-one conversations. I'm all about transparency. I'll tell you exactly what I know. So let's start off with why coastal transmission on the vegetative removal. We're having problems with the machining that we're currently utilizing to mow the mower lake beds. It's prone to breakdowns. It's an issue. Found out this morning that it's broke down again. I am very concerned about the city's internal ability to complete this job in a timely manner. That's why we reached out to several different contractors to get estimates. As you all are aware, we looked at several different options to take care of this vegetative debris. One was burning, one was chemical spray. We even talked about the use of goats. We took some bids for augmenting the city services, primarily on Patricia Lake, Middle Lake, and Upper Lake. Our highest bid came back at $1.9 million. The next one came back to do hand clearing. It was very labor intensive. And that was an open end, which I was very hesitant to agree to an open end contract with a contractor to clear our lake beds. The reason we went with Coastal Transmission is because for $300,000, they're gonna come in and clean that lake bed, the Patricia Lake, Middle Lake, Upper Lake, and then when those lakes are re-impounded and all that debris floats to the top, they're coming back in and they're gonna skim all the debris off the lake top. So basically, the reason we chose them is they were the most inefficient, had a great reputation of doing the work. So it's really just that simple. It saves the city money. Second thing I'd like to address is the ABC store. I would like folks to understand that the city is not associated with the ABC store. The ABC store is a separate entity all upon itself. The reason that we support the expansion of a second ABC store is statutorily the ABC stores in North Carolina are required to give a percentage of their revenues to municipalities and to police departments. We're never going to turn down revenue. When we have alternative means of revenue, it helps keep your taxes low. And I can assure you, with the budget that we just created and the tax rate that we're at, that's very, very difficult. So every dollar counts in our community. Grocery stores, that's up to an independent person to come in, someone that that has a business model that they think is sustainable. They'll come in and do a grocery store when it's time. The magic number seems to be about 10,000 people. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But you can't make somebody come into your community and open up a business. So that's where we're at. I know folks want a grocery store, but right now it's just not happening. The revenue that ABC store will provide for our community helps keep your fees and taxes low. So please understand that. The sewer expansion, the reason that we talked about where it was and where it's going is we have, there's been a lot of failures of septic systems that are along the big lakes. And one of the things that we've done is we've spent a lot of money, we've spent a lot of money trying to get these dams back in order so that we can re-impound these lakes. The last thing we want to do is pollute them with pollutants from septic tanks. So it's one of our first areas that we wanted to identify is to protect the lakes. Secondly, we want to look at areas that we can run our primary lines to and have developers pick it up from there and develop large parcels of land. Those will be our first priorities as we move into the community, expanding sewer. Now let's talk about something I know you're all interested in, the dam schedule. So I do know things about the dam that I don't share with y'all, simply because if I tell you that the dam's going to be ready next month and it's not, then you're going to call me out on it, you're going to hate me, you're going to say that I lied to you. So I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be done. Will it last 30 months? No. I can tell you that. I'm not going to tell you what we're anticipating right now, simply because I don't want you to call me a liar in case I run into problems. You're going to be very happy with the results. Please be patient. The project's on time is what I'm willing to share with you this evening, and it's on budget. So it's going really, really well. We got a lot to be thankful for. That's really all I have. If you have any more questions for me, my number's 919-363-0013. You can call me anytime. You're more than welcome to stop by and I'll have a face-to-face conversation and we can get down into the weeds about this stuff if you want to. And I'll share everything with you except what I know about the dam schedule. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, new business. Ordinance to amend Chapter 4 Buildings and Building Related Regulations, Article 3. Oh, I did skip it? Oh, yeah, I did. That's important. All right. Resolution to approve contract with Coastal Transmission Incorporated for lake bed vegetation removal. You want to speak on that or just?
Well, I just sort of spoke on that. It was the best value of the contract. So staff recommends that you approve this contract. Let's move forward.
Yeah, contract in the amount of $400,000. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sherwood. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner May. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. All right. Come back on track. All right, new business. Ordinance to amend Chapter 4 Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 3, Standards to add Section 4-115.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
Good afternoon.
I'm here tonight on behalf of the Building Inspection Department.
Can't hear you. Okay, we're trying something different tonight. I don't mean to interrupt everybody, but, all right, now speak from right
I can hear you.
I'm here tonight on behalf of the Building Inspections Department for the City of Boiling Spring Lakes, proposing to amend Chapter 4 of the ordinance and the building regulations, Article 3 standards. With this amendment would be the adoption of the North Carolina Fire Code, specific of the 2018 edition at this time. Going forward, it would be those editions of the Fire Code. In Section 105 permits of the 2018 edition, it requires property owners and agents who intend to operate a business or modify systems, equipment, or work regulated by the Fire Code to complete an application to the local jurisdiction. The local jurisdiction must adopt city ordinance, the current state fire code, and appendices for the permits to be legally enforceable. There would be no financial impact to the community or to the jurisdiction, and the staff recommends to adopt the 2018 or the North Carolina State Fire Code, currently the 2018 edition. That would be Section 4-115 Fire Code adopted, and it would read as follows: the current edition of the North Carolina State Fire Code, as adopted by the North Carolina Building Code Council, and as amended, is hereby adopted and referenced as fully as those set forth herein.
And that's just to keep us more in compliance with everything, right?
Yes, sir. We can, as far as regulating the code, we can actually, on new construction, those are required permits. Adopting the appendices, that gives us the opportunity to reach out for operational permits. That would give us opportunity to capitalize on like hot work projects, gas, combined gases, anything that would, overreach the fire areas and quantities. Excuse me for my voice, y'all, I'm kind of stuffy. But it would give us the authority to regulate the whole fire code, not just on the new construction part.
Okay.
And it gives us the more benefit to know what's going on in our jurisdiction.
All right. Any questions? Motion?
Make a motion that we approve this.
Commissioner May, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sherwood. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Okay, I need to get a motion to request for legislative public hearing at the June Board of Commissioners meeting for text amendment regarding Article 6, Section 622 accessory uses and buildings.
Motion to set a public hearing for June.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sherwood. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Letter to North Carolina ABC Commission. I think you've already explained that.
I'll read it again if you'd like.
Huh?
I'll read it again if you'd like.
Everybody good?
Staff report.
Let's see, we'll read it. Good? Any questions?
No.
All right, anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve the approval letter to the ABC Commission.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sherwood. Do I have a second?
I just want to say, do I personally think we need 2 ABC stores? No. However, I do understand your point of revenue. And I also want to say, just as you said, we don't control who comes in to purchase commercial properties, to build properties like grocery stores, things like that. This does give us an opportunity with the second location to have more revenue coming into the city so we can keep our tax base down. It isn't really up to us. They're just asking us for a letter in agreement. And it's a hard thing. I mean, I don't think any small community needs two, but a small community does need revenue.
And I'm sort of with Tegan on this. We got a big, beautiful new store, and why do we need a second one? Evidently, they feel like they do. But we don't regulate business. I mean, they're outside of the city. They're not us. And if it was the city asking for it, then I would say definitely no.
Be a no.
But they're not the city. They're a private entity. And for that reason, I'm in agreement with it.
So you're a second?
I'll give you a
There's a
second.
motion on the floor, so we need a
I'll
second.
give you a
call.
second.
All right, got a second by Commissioner Mamay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Is that aye from everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
May I add one thing on?
No, you can't right now. We'll talk later. All right, I got one appointment to the planning board as a second alternate to be completed. An unexpired term ending February 1st, 2026. We have 4 applicants. Shelley Tubiner, William Chabb, Dwayne Redmond, and Todd Ashburn. I'll take a motion from anybody.
Motion for Todd Osborne.
Have a motion by Commissioner Sherwood. Second. Anybody else want to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for Shelley Tubner.
I have a motion by Commissioner Mamay. Do I have a second from anybody?
I'll have a second for Shelley Tubner.
Okay, I have a second. All right, I'll just go down the list, if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
Shelley's got 2. All right, Dwayne Redmond. Okay, so, William Chabb. All right, so I have 1 for Todd Osborne, I have 2 for Shelley, so she has the votes. Can I get a motion to approve Shelley?
Make a motion to approve Shelley.
I have a motion by Commissioner Mamay. Do I have a second?
So moved.
I have a second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, say aye.
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 No.
Okay. 3-1.
Can we ask, the ones that, is Shelley here? Too? No? Okay.
All right. All right, Mayor and
She's been
Commissioner.
on our other boards.
Mayor,
Her daughter
Commissioner.
has dance tonight, so that's why she's on here. Family comes first.
Yes, it does.
All right, Mayor and Commissioner reports. I'll start with you, Commissioner.
I did want to thank Sequoia publicly because they have really been busting it with these dams. I live right on top of one, as y'all know, so I get to see firsthand, and they're there, rain or shine. 15 guys show up every morning. If they're pouring concrete, they're there at 6:30 in the morning. They work all day. It's moving very, very fast, just from my perspective. So I just, I want to thank Sequoia for doing such a good job for our dams.
Is that it?
That's it.
Commissioner May.
Well, I guess tonight I want to do something a little different, and it's for our planning board. First of all, I want to apologize to you because y'all are given a very difficult task. We ask you to plan something and we can't give you hardly any guidance on it. And we're like, give us some ideas. We got no money to give you. We're asking a lot out of you without having good directive. And the problem is, what we keep getting keeps changing. We're looking at Highway 87. Is it gonna stay 2-lane? Is it going 3-lane? Are we gonna get the turning lanes? And all that comes into planning this city center. And it's like, okay, so which way do we go now? And yet y'all keep moving on, pressing on. I was at a lot of your meetings when Nicole came back. I was like, it's useless for me to be back there because Nicole's got way more answers than I do. But I want to thank you for all the hard work that you do, and know that we recognize the hard work that you do and that we consider it, and it helps everything else move forward. Y'all do a great job. You really do. And in going through the UDO and making the changes, that helped stabilize our city, and it needed to be done, and y'all done a great job. And I know a lot of times y'all don't get recognized, and I think tonight's a good time to recognize all the hard work that y'all do. And thank you.
I agree. Thank you.
Well, he stole my idea. So I have a little speech about special events. First off, I want to thank them for everything they do in our community because it really brings families together. So I really appreciate you guys. The students, the staff, and the families, when you guys decorated, were ecstatic. I had several people reach out to me. I forwarded them right to your chair, Brenda Hogan, just so that you guys get that feedback from our community on how those little things really impact those students and those families. So I appreciate that and all you do for our community. A lot of hard work goes into graduating high school. Many of you may remember graduating. It's a big accomplishment for some of these students. So our special events committee has lined Cougar Drive with their bows. We're having the South Brunswick High School Senior Parade on Monday night, May 13th, which Brenda did announce on Cougar Drive. So just come out and support that function in our community. And I'm thankful that you guys are taking a month to kind of settle. And then we look forward to the Mayor's Cup coming up at the end of summer. So thank you again for all you do.
Thank you. Very good job.
All right, mine.
Now you can do all the rest. You can do all the rest.
Number one, we all went to Winston-Salem to learn new techniques, new ideas, and find out how Winston-Salem's been getting a lot of their grant money to revitalize their town. And a lot of it has came from their representative who has put in grant for them. So I'm gonna try my best to be talking to our representative. But there's a lot of new ideas that's on the table. We get to learn a lot of those and try to evaluate and put them in our system, make us function better. So that was a good trip we had on that. As everybody knows, I'm an alternate on the transportation board now. And I've tried to make them aware that 87's been a priority for years and years and years, and nothing happens. And one of the things we're seeing is all the growth and all the building going on. Well, it affects the city when everybody comes through the city. So I've made them quite aware that they need to look at their process a little bit better, because when the county allows big development to go on, we suffer in the city because there's only two ways to go, Southport or hit 17. So they need to take a better look at how they're designing our highway that comes through here. We don't want no 4-lane speedway through our city. So we're trying to make it very, very clear what we want them to do and try to put us ahead of schedule a little bit more. Thank the chief and the police department for the small fry fishing tournament they did. I thought it was a very good turnout for the kids. So thank y'all. We appreciate that. And then, like I said, I am going on the 20th, May 20th, to Washington, D.C. to tell our senators and representatives up there, because I'm asked to go speak on behalf of Bowling Spring Lakes and the challenges we have with flood retention and flooding in our area. So we're hoping to go up there, and the American Flood Coalition has always had some kind of grants. They're always willing to work with us, and they go up there and speak on behalf of small rural towns to try to get money coming into these cities. So they invited me to go part of their group to go speak to all these senators and representatives to try to let them know, you know, there's other things out there that these small towns need, and we need them to start looking at that. So we'll be doing that May 20th through the 22nd. And then we'll be back. Like I said before, this dam project is not an easy project. Never was, never thought it would be. But the one thing is Sequoia is moving ahead at a light speed. I mean, I think it's going to be shocking and everybody's going to be happy. They've still got work to do, but you know, when you sign a contract for somebody to come do work, whether it's your house or anything else, you still got to pay that contract whether you stop anybody from working or not. So we signed a contract, and it's a very hefty contract, and I'll be darned if I want to be responsible for $52 million coming out of taxes because we're not happy the way it's going. When they're ahead of schedule, you've got to be happy. And you got to be thankful that we have the great weather we've been having for them to get that way. And at the end of it, we're going to have our lakes back. We'll have our community back. We'll have Alton Lennon Road open back up so emergency personnel can go down that road at a faster pace than circling around all the town. And that's one of the troubles we have, Alton Lennon Road being closed. So it's a big plus for our city to get back to whole where we can actually function as a city again. And that's what we've been trying to do. That's why we meet. That's why we push things. And the sewer, we're just getting started on it, but it's something that needs to happen. We have to start the sewer process because you're going to have septic tanks failing, and guess what happens when septic tanks fail? A lot of costly money going out from homeowners. And if we can get money from our senators and our representatives to pay for this, it's a good deal. So that's what we're working on. We've got a lot of things on the plate that we're trying to work through and trying to get money to do it instead of it coming out of taxpayers' pocket. So that's our goal, that's our mission, that's what we're working on, trying to get done. And that's my report.
Oh, we want to do announcements before we go into closed session.
Yes.
Just so people
Yeah.
want to say.
Announcements. Dedication of the new police building will take place Tuesday, May 14th, 2024 at 10 a.m. All city buildings will be closed on Monday, May 27th, 2024 for Memorial Day. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, June 4th, 2024 at 6:30. The public hearing for the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget will be held during the regular Board of Commissioners meeting on June 4th, 2024. The following BSL committees have openings: Library Commission, Board of Adjustments, and a community appearance. And please see the city website to complete an application if interest. Now, can I get a motion to go into closed session regarding GI? I have a motion by Commissioner Sherwood, have a second? Second. Second by Commissioner May. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.
Were you just bored tonight, or?
Right.
I had the things to do, but I was like, yeah, let me pop my good.
We had an empty seat up here.
You missed going to Winston-Salem, didn't you?
I think it's like two homeless parties over there. Did you represent?
I mean, I didn't know.
Sad.
I miss you. I truly miss you. Sister now has a second to get there. Alaska this summer.